Hey, what's happening, everybody? My name's Frank Visconti. I run a company called Boa Evolutions. I've been shooting videos. This is about my 5th video now. I'm always behind the camera, so I figured I'd go in front of the camera today for a little bit. I'm just going to show you around the snake room a little bit, show you some of the caging that I use, some of the supplies that I use, you know, everything, how it works for me down here. Everything works different for, you know, different people depending on your situation, the room you got, whatever the case may be. But yeah, today's basically I'm just going to show you around the reptile room a little bit. So here we go. All right. Everything that I use caging wise, I like Freedom Breeder. I got the majority, 90% of my stuff is Freedom Breeder racks. I just like the way they work. I like everything about them. I think they're perfect. They're basically the perfect rack. I got a pretty good relationship with Lindy at Freedom Breeder, so he's always done me good. He's always hooked me up. And this is basically it. Let me give you a quick look around here. Yeah. Starting from over here, this is just my just odds and ends supplies, whatnot. Then you start getting into some of the 4-foot racks. These cages, they're 4 foot by 3 foot. These cages are awesome. I've been using these things for years. I've produced a lot of baby boas over the last, 13 years, whatever. These just slide out. They're actually on a track system right here, so you can actually take these things, you can pull these things all the way out, and they basically don't fall off. There's the track system that they run on. Big albino girl checking us out. They actually have, I don't know if you can see, but there's actually back there's a heat plate that runs. It's probably it's got to be about a 10 to 12 inch heat plate that runs. Oh, here you go. You can see it right there. You can adjust that to basically whatever temperature you want. That's all hooked up to a rheostat. And then basically it runs down into an extension cord. You can plug it in, and you can basically adjust the heat settings for what you want. Yeah, while I got it open, that's a big sharp strain albino girl. She's done me pretty good over the last couple of years. She's produced at least two litters, I'd say. 2 litters, 3 litters maybe. A lot of color. That's the difference between sharp strain and call strain. The sharp strain holds all that color as it ages. I mean, this girl here, she was born in 2006. She's a big, thick girl. And I mean, look all that color on her still, even after all that time. Cages, they slide shut nice and easy. Once they get to the end, they kind of like lock in place. They almost go over some little hump. More 4-foot cages. These are my male racks. These are basically the same dimensions as the 4-footers, but instead of having one cage going all the way across, these are split in 2. These do not have the track systems on the side, but with these you really don't need them because you're not putting a 30-40 pound bow in there. These have like a 4-inch heat plate that runs all the way from side to side, so you're basically heating two cages instead of heating one. This is one of my hypo silver chicks. We'll get into that later on. She's got a lot of nice color to her. She's going to be one of my future breeders. Yeah, these, same concept. They slide open, they slide shut. They stack nice and easy. There's another male rack there. Over there in the corner, that's my tortoise. That's Rocks. He's got himself all covered up with wood chips. I got him when he was about 5, 6 pounds, 7 pounds. I just weighed him the other day. He was just over 50 pounds. I use the oil heaters to heat my room. I got one there. My room is 30 by it's like 30 by 17, 18, somewhere right around there. So I need 2 heaters to heat my room. It's one heater's not gonna cut it. These here are my smaller boxes. I obviously don't have these in Freedom Breeders, at least as of yet. That may change in the near future, but these are just the smaller boxes, just stacked up, basically a shelving unit, you know, where they slide into place. I use these Rubbermaids. I get them from Reptile Tubs, Eric Herb. The best thing about them is there's no ridges on the inside of them, on the bottom. That way, when you're cleaning them, everything's nice and flat underneath. There's no, you know, if you go to, like, you know, Walmart or Target or something like that, you can get the boxes cheaper, but there's all kind of little indents and all kind of little stuff that just make it harder when it comes to cleaning. Same thing with the baby boxes. You know, no indents underneath. Everything's nice and flat. Just make it nice and easy to clean. When I feed, I use tongs. I think everybody should use tongs. If you're not using tongs, I'd get a pair of these. These things will save you from getting bit time and time again. Grab the rat by the tail, dangle it in. Snake grabs it, eats it. Everybody's good. Everybody's happy. Nobody's bleeding. Nobody gets bit. Snake doesn't get hurt. They also have the big tweezers too for the smaller stuff. You know, these things work pretty good. Rolling cart for when you're working. And that's pretty much a must. Another necessity is gloves. Get some welder's gloves. Go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, something like that where they actually cover your hand up. These are 10 bucks. These will save you time and time again from getting bit. You know, they cover halfway up your arm, you know, almost all the way to your elbow. You know, they protect you. They're almost like a leather material, so they won't harm the snake. They won't harm you. You're definitely gonna need them at some point in time. Anybody who doesn't use them, get them. Trust me, because you're gonna need them. And just because you use gloves doesn't make you a wuss or nothing like that. It's just basically protecting you from getting bit. Little Rocks, what's happening, buddy? Or I'm sorry, what do I call them, Rocks? That's Zilla. That's my Asian water monitor. Yeah, there's the other heater for the room. There's my workstation, chair, table, basic setup, computer, everything I need, all the essentials. So that, for the most part, is the reptile room. Everything didn't happen overnight, you know. Just start small, get couple levels at a time, keep adding them in. You'll eventually get to the point where, you know, you have everything you need. I mean, I even used the Freedom Breeders for the rodents. You know, here's the rodents. So I think they're great. as time goes on, I'll start showing everybody what's in all these boxes. I got some cool stuff down over here that I've acquired and produced and whatnot over the last 15 years. Some pretty neat stuff in some of these drawers. Nice striping, nice colored stuff. Here's another fine line. I did a video on a fine line not too long ago. This one was actually in a shed at the time, so I didn't show it. I'll put them on there now. Yeah, so there it is. That's what works for me. Oh, here, temperature-wise, you know, right now the room's running 84.9. That's on the warm spot. On the cool side, it's 80.7. I just get these things at like, you can get these at like Radio Shack or any kind of small electronics store. They basically, on the left-hand side, this is reading the temperature that's on this unit itself. And then you got a cord that runs down, and I got it going down all the way to the floor down here. There's a little sensor at the bottom. That little black nub right there. That's telling me what the temperature is down on the bottom. Them things work great. You know, I got them hooked up to every rack, you know, in the corner. Just basically giving you an idea of what the temperature is and whatnot. Yeah, there's another one there. I also use a temperature gun too. Those temperature guns work great. Get the ones with the laser on it. You know, you can kind of go around the room and, you know, check the temperature of this, check the temperature of that, blah blah blah. Make sure your heat plates are running good, running right. Yeah, for the tortoise, for the heat. The room's 85 degrees already. With tortoises, they obviously need that 100 plus, you know, hot spot. Just basic, got the chain hanging from the ceiling down. You know, that'll heat them up to, you know, 110, 115 degrees if he wants to, if it lay under there long enough. Same thing with the monitor. You know, heat lamp on the top. Got the fans blowing the heat around. You know, just a basic, simple little fan. Just enough to circulate the air. You know, if you don't put a fan blowing the heat around, it's all going to settle. Heat rises, so it's all going to go up. The floor is going to be cool. So you want to put a fan on there, blow everything around. Now they do have ARS also came out with a good rack system too. Like I said, when I got into it, ARS wasn't around. It was just Freedom Breeder 15 years ago. So I'm going to continue to stay with Freedom Breeder. I mean, they've done me nothing but good up to this point. Plus, I'm friends with Lindy too. So, but ARS racks are amazing too. The same concept, same drawer style setup. They slide in, they slide out. I actually just ended up cutting some inserts for the top to hold the humidity in. You know, to cover up one of the panels. So, same thing over here. This is reading 82. Oh, big Cernon boy. So there it is. This is basically what I work with. This is where I'm at. Oh, here's another thing. Snake hook. Get yourself a snake hook. Those things work great too. Use the utensils that are out there. Try not to get bit because it doesn't feel good. But yeah, basically this is what works for me. And I just figured I'd show everybody around the room. Let everybody see what I'm working with, and well, that's it. Hope everybody have a good day. Frank Visconti, Boa Evolutions. See you later.